Okay, so recently a new mod for Geometry Dash has been created which just will revolutionise top play forever if it's permitted by the daemon list or added to vanilla GD by Rob. I don't want to spend the whole video explaining how the hack works, so I'll just keep it rather brief. Basically, Geometry Dash uses what is known as a tick system when registering inputs, and these occur 240 times per second if you're playing in Geometry Dash 2.2. If you click between these ticks, you have to wait for the next tick for that input to be registered. This hack completely bypasses that, so you can just click at whatever time you want. This is particularly useful for low FPS players who can't afford good enough hardware to run the game at 240 or even 360 FPS. Like Doggy almost did 49 to 100 on Slaughterhouse on 60Hz when using the mod, which would have otherwise been impossible without it. But Aeonairs makes a better explanation of how the mod works, and I'll just leave a link to that in the description. So, what actually are the advantages to using the mod? Well, first of all, it just does make the game play a lot better, and allows it to more accurately represent your inputs. And this is just a huge upside. The more accurate the game is, the more skill-based it is, and that is the main purpose of Pointercrate, to push the skill in Geometry Dash as much as possible. And secondly, it means that hardware is no longer a limiting factor in how competently you can play Geometry Dash. As I've said before, the mod removes the majority of disadvantages which lower hertz players experience when playing Geometry Dash. This just makes the game less pay to win, if you will, and gives equal opportunity. Overall, the mod being permitted by Pointercrate would mean that the skill of Geometry Dash can be pushed much further than it is at today. Hell, Aeonairs could probably even be verified. So, what actually are some of the arguments against Pointercrate allowing the hack? One of the arguments, and probably the most important disadvantage to allowing the mod to be used for list records, is that mobile players and iMac players don't even have access to it. I do find this argument rather weak, however, since at best, low hertz mobile top players have always been a separate thing to Pointercrate. And also, mobile players still have their achievements in the mobile daemon list, and nothing about that changes. It's still super impressive to beat levels on a mobile phone, and letting Pointercrate players use this hack doesn't take away from that whatsoever. It's very difficult to be on Pointercrate if you play on mobile. There are only a select few mobile players who have list points on Pointercrate, so this change would only negatively affect a very small amount of people. For example, even now, without the mod, even I could beat a mobile main list in a couple of days and I'm not even a top player. I think that prioritising this very, very minuscule minority of Pointercrate players over everyone else is, to be frank, silly. The other main argument I've seen against the mod is that it just isn't vanilla, changes the game too much, so it shouldn't be added as altering the way the game works, and that is simply cheating. I also find this argument to be very weak, since so what if it changes the game's code? It makes the game play more accurately, while also making top play more accessible to those who have worse computers. Hacks that add onto the game's original code and add benefits that would otherwise be inaccessible and provide an unfair advantage against vanilla players have been allowed many, many times before. Look at how many people use Mega Hack, almost every top player did. I have also seen some people say that people may not even know about the mod since it's one of the many mods that are available on Geode. Like, really? How many people on the stats viewer don't know about Mega Hack's existence? I bet every single one of them do. If not a couple of them. You could also just add some sort of notice on the Pointercrate website telling people to download the mod so people know that it exists. A lot of people have also said that since RobTop has made the game, he decides what is allowed and what isn't. First of all, that hasn't even ever been true. He rated Tidal Wave due to community backlash and rated levels beaten on bypass, despite his disapproval of the hack overall. Rob has made it very clear that he has no interest in being related to Pointercrate in any shape or form, so I don't think now is any different. Just because he made it, it doesn't mean he gets to decide. So to conclude, I'm a huge advocate for this hack and any other hacks that improve Geometry Dash as a whole being allowed for Pointercrate, regardless of whether RobTop allows it. I believe that these positives massively outweigh the negatives and believe that it shouldn't be RobTop who decides what is and what isn't allowed. It should be the community. This could revolutionise Geometry Dash forever, and I hope that it has the ability to do so.